So, like I said, quick exercise routine that you can hopefully do anywhere. As you can see in my gym here, you don't need a lot of space to exercise. You don't need equipment. You can use equipment. We are not going to use equipment today, but you absolutely can use it. And I'll kind of show you where you can use it. But I'm going to pull up my clock here so I don't go over my time. So first, we're just going to start with a cardio / warm up. So we always want to do a warm up, ideally, 5 minutes or so, but really we just want to get that blood flowing so we can help prevent some energy. So we're just going to start off with walking in place. And so we start off, we get the blood flowing to the muscles, we get everything warmed up. And then with that warm up, we can go into some more difficult, progression. So what you can do after you feel comfortable and feel warmed up for the cardio side, you can walk in place like I'm doing. You can do this anywhere. You can do it in front of your TV. You can do it wherever you want to do, at your desk if you're at work. And then if you want to progress a little bit, we can raise up those knees, right? So easy progression, but as you can see, it's going to be a little hard. As you can feel if you're doing it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And get that heart rate up a little bit. And then what you can do is you can go to a jog, right? Easy progression. Again, I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving anywhere. I don't need any extra equipment, but my heart rate is going up right now, especially because I'm talking. If you guys want to talk to yourself while you're doing this, that will certainly help. But then you can even add like some jumping jacks. You can do a modified jumping jack if you don't want to go fully. So you can just step out to the side like this. All sorts of modifications depending on if you have knee problems, whatever it is, again, but we go from walking to running to jumping, whatever it is for that cardio. So cardio, all you got to do is move until you feel that heart rate up. Let's do some exercises for each body part. First, I'm going to start with the arms. So simple bicep curl. Again, you can hold weights. If you have hand weights, great. You can use soup cans. You can use really anything that you can hold comfortably. The only thing I would say, make sure that you've got things that are the same size. You don't want something that weighs 8 pounds on one side and 2 pounds on the other side, right? So bicep curls, biceps are the front of those arms. So all we're going to do is if you have something, hold it down here. If you don't, like me, we're just going to focus on squeezing those muscles. So go to the side here. We keep our elbows. The only part of our arm we're going to move is the forearm. So we're just going to squeeze it up. So again, focus on here. You can squeeze your muscles harder even without weights. So we're going to squeeze it up. You want to move while you're doing this? Feel free. Make this as easy or hard as you want. Again, 12 to 15 repetitions. Once you feel like you can do that pretty easy for 1, 2, or 3 sets, then you can add some weights in your hands. So upper body or upper arms, we got that. Next thing we can do is the back of our arms, the triceps. So this one, same thing. We're going to put one foot in front of the other so we can bend over a little bit. Both of my feet are pointed this direction. We're going to bend over a little bit, keeping our back as straight as we can, keeping our abs pulled in, pull that belly button in towards the spine because we want an ab workout too. Why not, right? So we're going to put our elbows again by our sides. We're still going to move our forearms, but we're going to squeeze them back this time. So again, I'm not using any weights, but I'm really focusing on squeezing the back of my arms, right? You don't have to do anything crazy to still activate those muscles because they're going to respond. And then we add weight as you feel, progress as you want to. So those are the back of the arms. So let's do shoulders. We'll stick with that upper body. Shoulders, really simple. We'll just do a shoulder press. So all you're going to do, bring your arms to 90 degrees. You're just going to push up. One thing to think about with your breathing, we breathe when we do the work. So when I'm pushing up, I'm going to exhale, breathe out, then inhale when you come back down. This gets more important as you increase that weight, as you increase the difficulty. So just something to think about there. But again, we're just squeezing up. A couple progressions with shoulders you can do, or just different options. You can do front raises. So again, holding weights or not holding weights. So we're just going to go front like that. But you can just get into some different muscles in the shoulders. And you can do out to the side. This one can get pretty difficult with weights. At least it is for me, which obviously means I need to do it more with more weights. But again, you're just working all around those shoulders. So We got the arms. Let's move to some of the lower body here. So I'm going to move my camera a little bit so you can see a little bit. So squats and lunges, simple. That's all we're going to do for the lower body. And that's all you need to do. So squat, we're just going to bring our feet about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, depending on how comfortable you are. And we're just going to pretend we're going to sit in a chair, except there's no chair there. So don't sit all the way down. So we're just going to go down and we're going to squeeze up. So when you go down, you're going to feel it in the quads, in the front. When you come up, you really want to squeeze it in the hamstrings and the glutes. Big thing with squats, we don't want to go down too far. So go down whatever's comfortable. We don't want those knees to go in front of our toes. Come back a little bit. So when I go down, I want to sit back. Your knees are going to come up a little bit, but we don't want them to go in front of our toes because it can cause some stress, especially if you've got knee issues already. Just go down as far as is comfortable. Lunges are another workout that we can do. A couple different ways to do lunges. You can step back into a lunge. So if I'm just standing here, upper body's nice and straight, core is pulled in, I step back, go down as far as is comfortable. Again, I don't have to go all the way down to the floor. We go down as far as is comfortable. Front knee does not go in front of my toe, and then I step back up, and then we switch, right? Just down and up. This one can get a little more into the cardio depending on how fast you want to go. The other way to do a lunge is to step forward. So I go back and I step forward and go down. So same thing. This one might be a little more difficult, especially if you've got knee problems, just because your momentum's going forward. So just really be careful that those knees don't go too far forward. You can also do pulses with lunges. So I can sit down and I just stay here and I go do a little pulse. You're going to feel that back here. You're going to start to feel it in all of your legs. And then make sure you switch sides. Biggest thing with exercise, make sure you're doing, if you just do one side at a time, make sure you do the other side as well. So again, I'm just kind of creating as I go here. You do what you want. If you've got 10 minutes, you can still get in a great workout, right? All right, so we got the arms, we got the legs. Let's do some abs. So abs, what I want to do is kind of an overhead, pretend you're holding a medicine ball, or if you've got something that you want to hold, go ahead. We're just going to lift it up. We're just going to do some circles. So we're just going to rotate forward and around, just kind of make a circle with our arms. So this is going to activate all around in our core. And you can squeeze it harder too. Just think about that. Squeeze those core muscles and they're going to work harder. And then we go in the other direction. Pull that belly button in towards the spine. Really make them work. We all want a good core, right? But core is important just to be strong. We're not all going to get a six-pack. In fact, very few of us will get a six-pack. But if we can have a strong core, that feeds the rest of our body. Another core thing to do is just a side bend. So you can have the arms up again or holding something. You can just go down to the side and then squeeze those obliques, those side abs when you come back up. Squeeze it up and then switch. So again, you can add weights to have that progression, or you can make it easier by having your hands down too. And you can hold weights down here as well. So if I go down and then I squeeze up, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just in a different spot. We've been kind of using our back, but a specific back exercise too is called a bent over row. So if I get into the same exercise or same position as I did with our triceps, we're going to go down, keep that back flat. But what we're going to do is we're just going to squeeze those elbows up and back, squeezing our shoulder blades together, squeezing those upper back muscles. So you can keep the elbows in, or you can go out to the side like this. Again, holding weights or no, whatever progression you want to do, it's easy to make it more difficult or easier. Out, squeeze those back muscles in. Just focus, whatever you're doing, focus on those muscles that you want to improve, and it's going to help. So back. All right, let's do some balance and some stretching to end with. So balance, really, really simple. If you need help, grab a wall, grab a bureau, whatever it is. We're just going to lift one foot out. That's it. To work on balance, you just balance, right? And so progressions with this, though, is you can move that leg. So we can go out. You can make some circles, keeping that standing leg a little bit bent, keeping that knee a little bit bent. Make sure you're switching sides when you do stuff. So again, we just hold it here. We go out to the side to get a little leg exercise in there. Get into those obliques a little bit. We can go forward. We can go back. Whatever it is, you can progress as much as you want. Balance is really, really, really important, like I said. So incorporate that into your workouts. and just do what you can whenever you can. If you got, again, if you have a minute, stand up and do that. And then for stretching, I said, try to hold things for, 20, 30, 60 seconds, depending on how much time you have. Obviously, we don't have much time left, but a couple stretches to get the whole body, upper body, reach across with one arm, put that hand behind the elbow and just put a little pressure until you feel that stretch. We don't want any pain, just some stretch. So you feel it in the shoulder and the upper back that we were working. And then again, make sure you're switching sides. So this is to get that upper body. Other upper body one can get into the triceps and the side a little more. Reach up and then down the back. And then take that other hand outside of the elbow. Give a little bit of pressure again. Feel in the tricep. And then we lean down like this to feel it in the side. So this gets that whole upper body, that whole side, and then we switch. So again, even if you haven't really, ideally the muscles will be a little bit warm, if you're doing a quick cardio before, but even if you want to stretch whenever, just don't go as far, right? Don't hurt yourself, because if your muscles are warm, you won't be able to go as far, but you could still stretch, just make it a little easier. Lower body, quad stretch, just bring that foot up. This one, if you have knee problems, I'd probably skip this one. I'll show you a modification here. But we just want to stand up straight. We pull that heel in towards the butt. Try to keep the knees even. But again, this one, just be careful with this one on the knees. Modification to this is to kind of do a lunge. So we do a lunge so we keep our legs, our back leg mostly straight, and then we push our hips forward. You should feel that in that same part of the quad, kind of in your hip flexors too. If you sit a lot, this is a good stretch for your hip flexors. And then again, make sure we're doing the other side. So you can either pull that heel up, you can do that lunge, push the hips forward. And then for hamstrings, standing hamstring stretch, just reach down as far as is comfortable till you feel that stretch in the hamstrings. You can go down as far as you want. You can bend the knees a little bit, but the goal is to feel the stretch, right? So whatever position you want to get into to feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Modification to this would be to sit down and stretch your hamstrings. So, all right, quick workout, right? It's just to give you options. Use your imagination, find things that you like, find a partner, do whatever you can to get some exercise in. That's the key, right? 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, that's what we want to see.